beauty of the sun coming over the mountain on my 21st day on my Appalachian Trail through hike. Just getting on the trail this morning. It was a really good evening. The shelters, most everybody stays at the shelters. You kind of have to. In the Smoky Mountains, they really require you to stay at the shelters. They actually want you inside the shelters. And the shelters are very nice, stone. They've got tarps over in the front entrance of them. They've got a fireplace. But I've stayed at shelters 3 or 4 times already, and you just don't sleep because people are making so much noise. Not intentionally, just rolling around, snoring, making nighttime noises. I just choose to tent camp, and I get a much better night's sleep. And then I'm not disturbing people when I get up early and get moving. But today is my 21st day on the trail. I think it's going to be a really good day. It's going to be warmer. The wind's not blowing as hard as it was before. It's about 35 degrees. But it's supposed to warm up. It's supposed to warm up to, I think, close to 70 today. Going about 14 miles to a place called Mount Colin's shelter. But before we do that, we're going to see Klingmans Dome, which is the highest point on the Appalachian Trail. And I think Mike's going to meet me there for lunch. And that also marks 200 miles of the Appalachian Trail. And a lot of you all are saying, oh, you only have 2,000 more miles. Well, look, I'm only taking this hike in like 3 and 4 day increments. That's as far as I can look out, or it just gets too daunting. Anyway, it's going to be a really good day. Today I'm going to dedicate my entire day to the victims of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. That is really my worst case scenario nightmare when I'm crossing over bridges like that. And I've crossed over Francis Scott Key Bridge and the Bay Bridge hundreds of times, and I think about a barge hitting it, and that they just lived my worst nightmare. So today's going to be dedicated to them with a rosary, and then prayers and contemplation throughout the day. All right, see you down the trail. Just want to give you a little idea of where I am. What came from there, that was basically west, and obviously moving east. I've been pretty much following the sun the whole morning. I'm sure I'm going to turn north in a little bit, but this just gives you an idea of where I am, where I'm going. I'm going over that mountain right there today. Folks, this is midday, and I'm at a shelter and ran into a ridge runner, Colin. Yay, there she is. I just asked Colin if she would just tell everybody a little bit about herself, and then what's a ridge runner and why do we have them on the trail, and what they do, and just a little bit of her responsibilities.
Hey there, I'm Colin. I'm a ridge runner here in the Smokies. My responsibility is to hike mainly south, to encounter as many hikers, make sure everybody's doing okay, teach a little leave no trace. We do a little trail maintenance, whatever we can manage, but we also assess where there's blowdowns. We have a handy dandy little app that we can upload photos and measurements of big trees, so the busy bee trail crews can come out and take care of those things so our path is smooth.
Awesome.
I pick up a lot of trash, pick up a lot of abandoned gear. Thank you for taking all those things with you when you leave. And mainly just to keep an eye on everything, make sure everything's okay. And we do check for permits up here in the Smokies, which is a unique situation for ridge runners, because this is one of the few places that actually has through hiker permits. And it's really for safety, to make sure we know where you are and that you get out of the park safely. And it's an amazing job. I'm on 4 days at a time. I switch sections, so I get to see the same place and come back and see how it's changed, sometimes for the better, sometimes not for the better. And I love my job.
Awesome.
Woohoo!
And
Go AT hikers!
And she's a wealth of knowledge and super spirited. So we appreciate what you're doing and keeping the trail safe and clean. Unfortunately, I hate that you have to pick up trash, but
It's part of it.
well, we appreciate it. Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm happy to be part of your vlog.
Okay, I just wanted to point out some plant life. These are the first real pine trees that I've seen along the trail. So just a handful of white pines. And I don't know exactly what these are. They kind of look like Douglas fir, kind of short needled. But there's a whole, I don't know if you can see down through there, there's a whole like little mini pine forest. It's nice to be able to see that. There's another one right there. Well, I've kind of come into this pine forest, which is pretty neat. It's almost like rainforests, kind of like in the west along the Oregon coast. Haven't seen any ferns yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't pop up later in the season. Okay, had to kind of catch this view. Pretty amazing. I don't know how many ridges you can see. And way down there, I think, is Fontana Lake that I left a couple of days ago. You can see right down through there. Hey everybody, this is Pete. I'm at the very top of Klingmans Dome, and this is the tallest peak on the entire Appalachian Trail. So it's 6643 feet. And this is just kind of, it's a big dome, big platform, circular platform, so you can see the, yeah, so this is looking due east. And I'm going to zoom in here just a little bit. That is Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge down through there. That's where we're going to be spending the night tomorrow night. There we go. And there's Mike taking videos. I'm videoing Mike taking videos. Okay, we're winding up the day today, but I just wanted to give you an idea of camp. That's my setup right there. But it's, you know, right in the middle of all these pine trees, which is something that we haven't had in the entire hike, which is super cool. A bunch of other folks spread out. The ground is kind of spongy here, so it's hard to find a good spot, but this is Mount Colin's shelter, and all the shelters have been pretty much the same. I'm not going to videotape over there because there's a family with younger kids, but they've all been essentially the same size and all made out of stone with a little fireplace. And then on the roof they've got some clear roofing material so that it lets in a ton of natural light. And then the bear hangs are right here, and my bag's right there. But it's getting super cold, and so I'm gonna get into my tent and start to get ready for bed. Hey everybody, this is Pete, wrapping up day 21 on the Appalachian Trail. It was a great day. Weather was really good. It was chilly in the morning and a little windy off and on today, but clear blue skies. Sun was warm, and we hit a couple milestones today. Number one is we passed the 200-mile mark, and the next one is Klingmans Dome. This is the highest peak on the Appalachian Trail, the entire trail. It's 6,643 feet high, so it's a mile high, and it was really, really beautiful views. You saw them earlier in the video. So a couple big milestones. The other thing was really one of my favorite days today because we moved out of the kind of the deciduous trees that you've seen over the last couple of weeks into pine forest, and it was very, very beautiful. It was not the whole day, but 3/4 of the day we were in pine forest, and it just broke up the monotony of the you know leafless trees that we've been seeing for the last 20 days, and the whole landscape was different. So that made it unique and interesting. But today I felt real good. I feel like my trail legs are coming in, and I'm able to walk faster with a lot more confidence. I did fall and slid right on my butt. It's just weird because, like, yesterday it was kind of warm, and then this morning and part of the day it was below freezing, so there were icy, muddy parts to the trail, and so I hit just a something that was icy mud, and it had just thawed out enough that it made it just crazy slick, and so I fell and fell on my butt and my right side, and so my pants and my underwear and stuff were pretty wet, but hopefully they'll dry out tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to go into Gatlinburg for resupply and spend the night. And then my wife got me a hotel right next to a church, so I'll be able to walk to church on Easter Sunday, which I'm super happy about. So be thinking about Good Friday today, and Jesus' suffering, and then we'll celebrate his resurrection on Sunday morning. Okay, that's it for today, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.